My nephew, with that mighty Skywalker blood, and in my hubris, I thought I could train him. I could pass on my strengths. By the time I realized I was no match for the darkness rising in him, I went to confront him. And I was left with shame and with consequence. Because I was Luke Skywalker, Jedi Master. A legend.
Hey! Hey! Are you crazy? What's the matter with you? What happened?
What do you want?
You don't know who I am, do you?
Well, should I know who you are?
Not much time. Hang on, kid. I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
This is Rogue 2. Echo Base, this is Rogue 2. I found them. Repeat, I found them.
Fade in.
This is where the fun begins.
Hello there.
Crap. 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 Crap.
You know, hey! You guys sure are friendly, aren't you?
I'll probably never meet him.
You might. There's something different about him.
The Force is strong with you.
Had enough?
What do you want? I'm busy.
No, we have a race.
No. There's nothing special about you. You're
Nothing.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary. 'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Well, what's that then? I've heard worse. You liar! Come on, you pansy! Victory is mine. Just a flesh wound.
You will each be part of me, and together we will be complete.
Use the Force. Let go.
The Force is strong in this one. I have you now. What?
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
busy in a Burger King bathroom.
Right here.
Cocainum.
Like a rock.
Perhaps you referred to the imminent attack of your rebel fleet. Yes, I assure you, we are quite safe from your friends here.
He saved us. He really did it. May the force be with us.
Ready the program! Together, we have achieved many things.
Greetings, programs. Welcome to the Not My Star Wars live stream. In loving memory of Jonathan Rinzler, The Bad Batch, and Pedro Pascal in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. I hope everyone is well. Happy Friday. I unfortunately have very sad news. I know that a lot of you have heard, but we will discuss it. There's some articles to go over. This stream probably won't be very long. I'm going to try to get through it as quick as I can because I already know it's going to be difficult. But it's something that I need to do. On Wednesday, I received word that on July 28th, Jonathan Rinzler passed from pancreatic cancer. I'm not going to go over the whole thing again. You can see my stream from 2 weeks ago. He was a great man and a great friend. He accomplished a lot of things and leaves behind a wife and 2 daughters. This stream and every stream from here on out will be a St. Jude fundraiser stream. Perhaps I'll do another charity at some point, but by default, every one of my streams from now on will be a St. Jude fundraiser stream. And they will always be dedicated to my friend. I, again, 2 weeks ago, talked a lot about it. So I'm going to just jump into some articles. And again, I'm going to try to get through the stream as best I can. And I thank you guys, as always, for supporting me. The links to everything will be in the description of the stream if you want to follow along or look at them later. Berkeley side, August 4th, 2021. Remembering Jonathan Rinzler, best-selling author of Star Wars books. Rinzler, 58, attended Berkeley High School and went on to have a prodigious career as a best-selling author of cinematic history books about Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and other blockbuster films. Jonathan Rinzler, who wrote under the name J.W. Rinzler, died peacefully on July 28 at his home in Albion after an 11th-month battle with pancreatic cancer. He was 58. I will remind everyone that last year, almost a year to the day, I did a wonderful interview with him, What Star Wars Means to Us, with Lucasfilm Publishing Executive Editor Jonathan W. Rinzler. If you have not seen it, it was great. I was honored, and we had an amazing time. I didn't get a chance to put the link in the description. I will, but if you look under my live stream playlist or the What Star Wars Means to Us playlist, it is there. If you love Star Wars, you will love that interview. He has done some other little radio and little interviews, but there was nothing like the time he spent with me. And I hope that it's something that his family and Star Wars fans can always cherish. I know I will. Jonathan Jonathan was born August 17, 1962, to parents Alan and Marilyn Rinzler, and spent his formative years in Berkeley, attending Berkeley High School with brothers Peter and Ben. He began his undergraduate studies at the Parsons School of Design, where he studied painting, an interest he continued throughout his adult life. Rinzler graduated from New York University with bachelor's and master's degrees in comparative literature. Rinzler had a prodigious career as a best-selling author of cinematic history books about Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and other 20th century blockbuster films. He joined Lucasfilm in 2001 and became the executive editor of its publishing arm, Lucas Books. Over 15 years, he authored an extensive body of Star Wars-related publications, including The Making of Star Wars, a New York Times bestseller, The Making of The Empire Strikes Back, The Making of Return of the Jedi, Star Wars, The Blueprints, and The Sounds of Star Wars. The publication of The Making of Star Wars gained Rinzler widespread critical praise for establishing a new standard of meticulous archival research, including in-depth interviews with key film cast and crew members. The London Times wrote, "For anyone who has the Force with them, this awesomely nerdy tome is a gift from heaven." And from Film Review, "A book like this simply blows everything else out of the water." All told, he wrote 25 books, including 3 New York Times bestsellers and 1 London Times bestseller. In addition to his multiple books about the Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises, he wrote The Making of Aliens, The Making of Planet of the Apes, The Making of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, and Howard Kazanjian, A Producer's Life. In addition to his nonfiction works, Rinzler wrote 2 novels, the #1 best-selling graphic novel, The Star Wars, which he co-authored with artist Mike Mayhew, and his recent space history novel, All Up, hailed by award-winning science fiction authors Dr. Jacques Vallée as an exceptional book that takes the reader beyond the usual descriptions of the challenges and achievements of the first space age, by describing the human reality behind the extraordinary efforts of intelligence and will that made it all possible. There you can see him with Papa George. Rinzler survived by his beloved wife, Genevieve Rinzler, daughters Judith, a psychologist practicing in Fort Bragg, California, and Sarah, a student of Hastings Law in San Francisco, and grandson Henry. He is also survived by his parents, Alan and Marilyn, and siblings, Ben, Peter, Ari, and Daniel. The family requests that any remembrances in Jonathan's name be made to the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. Unfortunately, I could not find that on the YouTube fundraiser list. I have to look again. If, in fact, in the future I can change it to that, then that is what I will specifically do. Otherwise, it will always be St. Jude for Children. The site is pancan.org if anyone would like to look, donate, what have you. Again, this stream has a donate button, and it will go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital for cancer research for the little ones. The links are in the description. If anyone else needs any information or would like me to pass any words to his family, just let me know. StarWars.com, August 5th. Remembering Lucasfilm historian J.W. Rinzler. The author of over 20 books, 25 books, Disney, including the celebrated trilogy of behind-the-scenes Star Wars tomes, died July 28. Jonathan Rinzler was something like Indiana Jones when it came to unearthing film histories, on a trip from the director of fan relations Steve Sansweet more than a decade ago. Rinzler and the librarians at Skywalker Ranch recovered a collection of long-forgotten transcripts from Lucasfilm's storied past. In 4 boxes filled with yellowing papers, Rinzler discovered a treasure trove that he would dub the Lost Interviews, more than 50 accounts recorded between 1975 and 1978 and conducted by publicist Charlie Lippincott, documenting the formative creation of the original Star Wars film from the likes of George Lucas, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Gary Kurtz. Several predated the film's meteoric success in May of 1977, a time capsule that allowed modern fans to gain insights into how the gifted cast and crew at the helm of the future box office success viewed the film before it became a pop culture mainstay. Through painstaking research, Rinzler pieced together these candid interviews and other records to create Making of Star Wars in time for the film's 30th anniversary in 2007. The book went on to become a New York Times bestseller, setting the bar for similar accounts that followed, further cemented Rinzler, then already the author of books including The Making of Revenge of the Sith, as a preeminent film historian whose work was lauded as the Holy Grail for Star Wars fans. On July 28, 2021, Rinzler died peacefully at his home in Albion after an 11th-month bout with pancreatic cancer. He was 58, but his words live on. On the concept artist's 80th birthday, author J.W. Rinzler shows Ralph McQuarrie advanced pages from the making of The Empire Strikes Back, including newly rediscovered paintings by the legendary designer. This is the famous Ralph McQuarrie that everyone always hears about that basically did all the concept art for Star Wars. Rinzler worked closely with George Lucas for 15 years, joining Lucasfilm in 2001 and serving as the executive editor for Lucasfilm Publishing, then called Lucas Books, until 2016. Jonathan was a sure and steady presence across the years as both a writer and executive at Lucasfilm. Lucas recalled Wednesday, with his kind and contemplative nature, you could see a giant in his eye. You could see a glint in his eyes. You could see a glint in his eye. The wheels turning when he had a new idea, and a quiet fervor with which he sought out ever more detail for the books he wrote and edited. The works he left behind are touchstones to times and places we can each remember and appreciate in our own way. This is simulcast over on YouNow, by the way, if anyone wants to support over there, and anyone that is over there, thank you. I appreciate you. Friends and former colleagues mourned the loss as news broke, celebrating Rinzler's prodigious career. His meticulous research allowed for unvarnished accounts of film history that would have otherwise gone untold. Rinzler's passion for writing and research was clear in his storytelling, but many remembered his kindness above all else, as do I. In addition to being an incredible writer, Jonathan was such a kind and beautiful person, said Lynn Hale, Lucasfilm's VP of Publicity and Communications. His dedication and passion for preserving our cultural heritage and his deep knowledge of our films make his books extraordinary. The many books he authored while at Lucasfilm can be found on almost every Star Wars director and employee's bookshelf, and are a constant resource and reminder of who we are as a company and what we continually strive to achieve. Jonathan's memory will live on within the halls of Lucasfilm, and his kind, generous nature will remain forever in our hearts. His writing credits included penning the two-part arc that disappeared for Season 6 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I knew Jonathan as a writer and was fortunate to work with him on 2 episodes of The Clone Wars, said Dave Dildoni. His making of Star Wars books are the most in-depth accounting of the films I have ever seen. I am sure his work will be the benefit of generations of filmmakers to come. And in that, he has fulfilled one of the greatest tenets of a Jedi, to pass on what you have learned, something Jonathan did brilliantly. And perhaps all of you should have read his books instead of making shit up. Altogether, Rinzler left behind a legacy of more than 25 books. Author of over 20 books. Okay. Still. 25 books, including The Complete Making of Indiana Jones, The Making of The Empire Strikes Back, and The Making of Return of the Jedi. Among his accolades and accomplishments, Rinzler was the author of 3 New York Times bestsellers and 1 London Times bestseller. The novel, All Up, published last year, combining speculative and real history to recreate the space race, and the graphic novelization of The Star Wars, an illustrated adaptation of Lucas's rough draft screenplay, and a glimpse at what may have been Rinzler's final book. Howard Kazanzian, A Producer's Life, is slated for release next month. Next month is going to be very difficult for me. I'm going to be up in the air, but when I get a chance, I will talk about that book. I will do my best to get a copy, and I will always have a link to it. His 2 books will forever have a link in all of my videos and live streams from here on out. All Up, and this new one coming out. So you will always be able to find them, and I hope that you will support him and his family, and that we can continue to keep his memory alive through his incredible work. Rinzler survived by his family, his wife Genevieve and two daughters Judith and Sarah. In his final days, Sarah took to her father's Twitter account to alert followers to his diagnosis and the family's end of life planning. In just 48 hours, a GoFundMe page created to help with medical expenses exceeded its goal. No words can describe how moving it's been to see this outpouring and support for my dad and our family, Sarah wrote in gratitude. Thanks to all of you. Additional contributions will be donated to the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, where the family has also requested remembrances in Jonathan's name be made. Again, pancan.org, PANCAN.org. This man was one of the most important parts of the original Lucasfilm. I think they could have done better than this. And there was a tweet on Wednesday that I saw that it has apparently disappeared. But Disney Lucasfilm had the nerve to say, we love this man and we missed him and he was so important and all this bullshit. Go back and watch my interview with him. He said that both, number one, that's not my Star Wars. And number two, that's no longer my Lucasfilm. He left for a reason. And furthermore, after he left, he started writing a blog about what happened and the events of the making of The Force Awakens. Disney's lawyers sent watchdogs after him and shut down his blog. So fuck you, Disney. How dare you try to pretend that you care or know about Jonathan Rinzler. Links to this are in the description of this live stream. There's many things that Disney Lucasfilm has done to piss me off, but this one really fucking burns me. I saw a tweet from Pablo Hidalgo. Oh, he was such a great man and missed and all this. Shut the hell up. pancan.org. You can always add to this fundraiser. I, again, 2 weeks ago, talked all about this, so I'm not going to go all into it again. If anyone ever has any questions, needs me to pass something on, anytime, just let me know. Remember what I guys told? Remember what I told you guys 2 weeks ago. Any of us could be gone tomorrow. I even said he probably doesn't have long. When this stream finishes, if there is someone you love, if there is someone important, you pick up the phone, you write an email, you get in your car and you go visit someone. And you just grab them and you just hug them and kiss them for no reason. And you let them know how much they mean to you. Because you might not be able to again. I'm going to I have a stopwatch on my phone. I don't know that you're going to be able to see it. Okay. I'm going to let it run I'm going to let it run for the minute. I asked that there's no chat. You don't have to do what I do. You can go to the bathroom or get a drink or do whatever you want to do. But I asked that everyone joins me in this minute to remember my friend. I'm going to play the All Up promo, and then I'm going to play 10-minute intermission. I'm going to splash some water on my face. I'm going to go outside and get some air. I will be back in about 12 minutes. And we will continue on. I really don't know what else to say. Rest in peace, Jonathan. You will be missed by many. And while I will talk to his family soon, if you see this now or later, if there's anything that I can do, just let me know.
Funding for this program is brought to you in part by
historical fiction thriller called All Up. Basically, it's supposed to be, I tried very hard to make it an entertaining, page-turning book about the first space age. It comes out on July 14th. It's you can get it as a Kindle book or Apple book, and there'll be an audio book, but it won't be coming out. The audio book will be a little bit later, August or September. And it's, it's a book about what I consider to be, the great adventure of the 20th century, the development of the rocket, which happens during World War II and before World War II with Robert Goddard, and then with the secret German weapons program during World War II, and MI6 is trying to figure out what the Germans are doing. There's a lot of cat and mouse, and a lot of intrigue, and it's all very interesting, I thought. And it was a ton of research behind it. So about 90% of the book, I'd say, is based on what really happened. 10% is either speculation or stuff that can't be proved definitively. But and then it goes into the space race and the Apollo 11 trip to the moon. And I think people who give it a chance and read the first 50 pages will be hooked. I'll go out on a limb and say that. Obviously, no book is for everyone, but I hope people who have read my other books will give it a chance because it's a behind the scenes book. In the same way that's making a Star Wars and Indiana Jones and Alien, the behind the scenes books, this is also a behind the scenes book.
And by the annual financial support of viewers like you.
On George Lucas's birthday, no one at Lucasfilm said happy birthday. On May 25th every year, they pretend that Star Wars doesn't even exist. And they had the nerve to put out a tweet that they cared about Jonathan Rinzler, who walked away from them, and they sent lawyers after. They were pandering, and that's why I was really pissed off. Fuck you, Disney Lucasfilm. I'm going to play an intermission. I'm going to get some air, and I will come back and read your comments. I saw that there was a couple or one donation or something there. I don't know who it was. Thank you so much. Every stream from now on will be a charity stream for St. Jude's. Or if I can hook up with the Pancreatic Cancer Network, I will do that specifically in his honor. Every video and stream that I do on this channel will be dedicated to him. He gave so much to all of us, to his family, and to Star Wars. And every piece of content that I create on this channel will be my little bit to give to him. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Goodbye, my friend. Please buy his books. Please leave a comment on his Twitter. I've given you ways to contact him or his family. And again, if there's anything you want me to pass on, I can. You guys are what make this happen and why I'm here every week. Thank you. I'll see you in a bit.
If you think of the first three films as one film, which is what it was intended to be, Darth Vader comes in the front door, scares everybody, kills a few guys, and then you follow it through, and then you find out that Luke is his father, and then eventually it ends up with him not being the bad guy, but actually being a rather sad guy, and then eventually being the hero and killing the Emperor. That if you saw it as one movie, that's the movie you'd see. And one of the problems I had is that Darth Vader became such an icon of evil that when it got split up over 6 years, the impact of him as a tragic character got lost. So that was one of the inspirations for going back and doing the backstory, because it really is about, it's really the tragedy of Darth Vader is the story.
Struggle in Star Wars is about passion against compassion, which is greed against giving and giving up primarily. And the whole issue is the flip side of greed is fear of losing. So you're either trying to get things or you're afraid of losing the things that you've got. And the idea is that to let go of those things and because once you start down that path of fear, then you're trying to protect things and you're willing to fight for things and you're willing to. And the Jedi's basic job in the beginning which we never get to see too much of because we start really during the war. They were like marshals in the Old West. I mean, they would go from town to town and they would, help solve the problems. And in a lot of cases, the marshals and the judges were pretty much the same thing, and they would just travel and they would bring justice and solve problems for people, which is kind of what Jedi are. And they're negotiators, they're not fighters. Only they're negotiators, sort of like the mafia. they're compassionate negotiators with a very big laser sword, which they don't like to use, but if somebody, doesn't want to solve the problem, then they'll solve it for them, so to speak, which is an incentive for people to solve their problems without fighting.
The first film starts with the last age of the Republic, which is it's getting tired, it's old, it's getting corrupt. There's the rise of the Sith, who are now becoming a force. And in the backdrop of this, you have Anakin Skywalker, a young boy who's destined to be a very significant player in bringing balance back to the Force and the Republic. In the second film, we get into more of that turmoil. It's the beginning of the Clone Wars. It's the beginning of the end of democracy in the Republic, sort of the beginning of the end of the Republic. And it's Anakin Skywalker beginning to deal with some of his more intense emotions of anger, hatred, sense of loss, possessiveness, jealousy, and the other things he's coping with. Then we will get to the third film where he is seduced to the dark side, which brings us up to films 4, 5, and 6, where Anakin's offspring redeem him and allow him to fulfill the prophecy, where he brings balance to the Force by doing away with the Sith and getting rid of evil in the universe. A lot of the issues that are in films 4, 5, and 6 become much clearer when you begin to realize what's behind the issues and how things came to pass. Because there's a lot of things that really are alluded to in the last 3 films, but they don't make much sense unless you really get the gist of what happens, and you really have to have seen 1, 2, and 3 in order to get it all. You get to see the universe, kind of, in the first 3 films. You know, you get to go to the Senate, you get to go to the center of the galaxy, you get to go to these very sophisticated planets and all that kind of stuff. And you're seeing things that are very sophisticated. You're seeing very sophisticated aliens, all kinds of things that are digitally created, large scope, very vast scale and everything. So then when you get down to episode 4, it's all very small. Everything's real tiny. There's no scope to it at all. And it's in a very small corner of the galaxy. You talk about those things, but you never ever get to see them. But of course in this thing, you'll have already seen all those things, so you'll know what they're talking about. And you'll know when he's saying, I'm stuck here in the far corner of the galaxy, you'll know what he's talking about. And you'll realize that he is stuck in a little dim corner of the universe.
Found in all living things, around us, flows from us, controls individuals, yet we have free will. We have a destiny if we want to follow it. We live for a reason and must discover what it is. What happens when you go to the dark side is it goes out of balance, and then you get really selfish and you forget about everybody, and you ultimately lead yourself, because when you get selfish, you get stuff, or you want stuff. Mm-hmm. And when you want stuff and you get stuff, then you are afraid somebody's going to take it away from you, whether it's a person or a thing or a particular pleasure, experience. Mm-hmm. Once you become afraid that somebody's going to take it away from you, or you're going to lose it, then you start to become angry, especially if you're losing it. And that anger leads to hate. And hate leads to suffering. Mostly on the part of the person who's selfish, because you spend all your time being afraid of losing everything you've got, right, instead of actually living. Where joy, by giving to other people, you can't think about yourself, and therefore there's no pain. But the pleasure factor of greed and of selfishness is a short-lived experience. Therefore, you're constantly trying to replenish it. But of course, the more you replenish it, the harder it is to, so you have to keep upping the ante. You're actually afraid of the pain of not having the joy. So that is ultimately the core of the whole dark side, light side of the Force. And everything flows from that. Obviously, the Sith are always unhappy because they never get enough of anything they want. Mostly their selfishness centers around power and control. And the struggle is always to be able to let go of all that stuff. And of course, that's the problem with Anakin ultimately is you're allowed to love people, but you're not allowed to possess them. And what he did is that he, fell in love and then married her and then became jealous. And then he saw in his visions that she was going to die. He couldn't stand losing her. So in order to not lose her, he made a pact with the devil to be able to become all-powerful.
I am becoming more powerful than any Jedi has ever dreamed of, and I'm doing it for you.
But of course, when he did that, she didn't want to have anything to do with him anymore. So he lost her.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Once you were powerful, being able to bring her back from the dead, well, if I can do that, then I can be Emperor of the Universe. I can get rid of the Emperor. I can do everything. I can make everything the way I want it.
And together, you and I can rule the galaxy. Make things the way we want them to be.
And once you do that, you'll never be satiated. You're always going to be consumed with this driving desire to have more stuff and be afraid that others are going to take it away from you. And of course they are. Because every time you get two Sith together, you have the master, you have the apprentice, and the apprentice is always trying to recruit another apprentice to join with him to kill the master. And the master knows that he's basically everybody below him wants his job. Only way to overcome the dark side is through discipline. The dark side is pleasure, biological, and temporary, and easy to achieve. The light side is joy, everlasting, and difficult to achieve. The great challenge must overcome laziness, give up quick pleasures, and overcome fear, which leads to hate. It's about good and evil in us, as well as our institutions. So, and the idea that some of us think we're really great people, but in the real world we're not. We're terrible people.
Or you can make bad choices.
Well, you make bad choices, but you run your life in a very selfish way, and you think you're doing good when you're actually not. And at the same time, it's how do democracies turn back into dictatorships? Why do people who have the power to have the freedom and everything turn it over to somebody who's going to take it all away from them? It's happened through history forever and ever, and all Star Wars is a way of updating that idea to say, watch out, because there are people out there who don't play by the rules, and if you're not careful, you're going to lose all your freedom. And at the same time, those people who may not play by the rules because they're selfish and greedy turn themselves into evil people who don't care about other people.
Thank you, Wes. Good to see you, Private Eye. James, I love you, buddy. But if you want to talk about Star Wars news, then you need to do streams. It's really rude to come onto my streams every week and start talking about things before I've even started the stream. I work very hard, and you all should know that no one knows Star Wars or what's going on with it better than I do. Please do not do this. And it doesn't matter what's in the title of the thumbnail. You don't know what I'm going to talk about. Hello, Adaptive. Glad to see you. Thank you, Private Eye. I mentioned it, yes. I literally just bought the All Up book like 2 days ago. Thank you. It's a great book. It's a beautiful book. The link is in all of my descriptions. I encourage you to check it out. He was a brilliant researcher and writer. And it, of course, will help to continue to support his family. I'm so lucky to have done that interview with him and have that book signed by him. Literally one of the most valuable possessions that I have. D, thank you as always. That link came at a perfect time today, so thank you as always. Thank you, Adaptive. Rest in peace, good man. Wherever you are. Thank you, Private. I know, I'm not ashamed. I wouldn't come on here. I already knew I was going to. This is something I have to do because he was my friend. And a very important part of what we love. My father nearly died of pancreatitis. I can't talk right now. When he was about 40 years old, and I was about 10 years old in the 90s. He passed away in 2006 due to lung cancer, and I miss him every day. He's in a better place. The last picture of him, he looked like a skeleton. He looked bad. The truth is, this is actually the best thing that could have happened because I know that he was in great pain and suffering, and his family was probably a wreck all these months, but this past month must have been just a nightmare for them. So while I know they are destroyed right now, they are probably relieved as much as he would be. And I am too. Mr. Rinzler was a great man who had a large following and was loved by many of his fans and Star Wars fans. He is lucky to have such a nice and respectable send-off and tribute from Not My Star Wars. Hello, Watt. Welcome. Did Disney do a thing for them? If they didn't, no, they did not. A tweet that they apparently have deleted. R.I.P. Mr. Rinzler, and thank you for your contribution to the Star Wars universe and pop culture in general. Your name will be remembered and respected anytime Star Wars was mentioned by its mega fans. You should. Cancer has taken many. May he rest in peace. I will check out your interviews with him. Just a second. I'll add the link in the description of this later when I have some time. I think the entire What Star Wars Means to Us series is some of my best stuff. It's amazing stuff. Great people. Great interviews. The one with Jonathan was such a pleasure and such an honor. It's the closest I've gotten to the inside. I hope that if you haven't seen it, you will see it. And even if you have seen it, watch it again. I just posted the link. It's in my live stream playlist. It's in my What Star Wars Means to Us playlist. Give it a view. Give it a like. Maybe the algorithm will pick it up in these days. For people to see how great he really was. And thank you for your comment. He will. Especially on this channel. I doubt Kathy has one of his books. Even if she did, she probably never read it. I very much doubt that she ever has. Thank you, Deck Tunics. Good to see you. The tweet is nowhere to be found. Something told me to screenshot it, but it cannot be found. I probably could look in the Wayback Machine, but I just... Announcement for someone who wants to distract us from those slaves of nostalgia. They didn't fire him. He left. They do something that pisses a lot of people off. Announce 5 more shows or some crap so they can save themselves. Yes, it is a devastating loss. Thank you. Already lost lots of people I loved, but I was taught to always tell them how much I love them. Since I was a kid, I regret nothing on that part. And it's not just telling people that you care about them. If there's a girl you want to talk to, if there's a job you want to get, if there's something you want to get done in life, stop wasting time. Do it right now, today. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I'm no longer fazed by the lows Disney will go. You guys know I've had it with Disney years ago. But when I saw that tweet for them, the nerve of those fucking people. And it's probably some kid in the social media department. That wasn't a tweet from Robert Iger or Kathleen Kennedy or the great Dave fucking Dildoni. Time is the only thing we have. We'll have to spend time with the people we love. Yep. He did. He saw Force Awakens and he said, "This is not my Star Wars." And the way that they ran Lucasfilm and treated people, he said, "This is not my Lucasfilm." I can already tell how they're going to react when George Lucas dies. Sorry, I can't see what you put there, but thank you. Rest in peace, my friend. Indeed. He looks like a bodyguard. The fact that right after his passing they delete an article about him and announce another product pisses me off. And that's Disney Lucasfilm. They're evil. They don't care about those who help them get where they are. Yes. In their documentaries, I love Democracy, Disney in Real Life, Palpatine's Evil Laugh. Yes. I only see the boring ass show Bad Batch posts in the Star Wars Twitter. That's all they talk about. And that show sucks so fucking bad. It's absolute trash. Hey Ryan John, good to see you. I just got on and wondering who's Jonathan Rinzler. Jonathan Rinzler was, you can see my interview all about him, but he went to work at Lucasfilm around 2002, right when Attack of the Clones was beginning post-production. His first day, they put him in a room with a video cassette and a VCR, and he watched what they had of the Attack of the Clones. He was hired to document history of Lucasfilm and what was going on with the making of the films. He discovered a lot of stuff in the archives and started writing books about it. After just a few years, he became so important that he was involved in production meetings, and then not long after, he was with George Lucas every single day, following him around the sets and around Lucasfilm to learn everything that he could. He would talk to George every day. And when it pisses me off when people say that Dave Filoni was his apprentice. Dave Filoni only saw George Lucas a few times a year. Jonathan Rinzler is the one that was around George every day. He wasn't big on all the lore and knew all the things like us fans do. But he was the one that knew George. He was the one that truly saw the inside information. He wrote 25 books, including The Making of Star Wars, The Making of Return of the Jedi, The Making of The Empire Strikes Back, Indiana Jones, Planet of the Apes, Aliens. He's a worldwide known, award-winning author. His books were amazing. His research was meticulous, and they were very well written. And he was my friend. I hope that you all will watch that interview. Again, even if you've seen it, it was a great interview. Watch it again. And hopefully, if it gets enough views, YouTube will wake the hell up. Because for whatever reason, it's like this channel is invisible right now on YouTube. which is fine. I don't even care about that. It would be nice that in these days of this news, that interview gets reemerges. Everything Lucas said in the interview with Kathleen was true. It's ironic she can't see he's talking about her. They don't talk about Rinzler since he leaves, and the moment he dies, they talk about him like he's a longtime friend. Exactly. Not once have they mentioned him. In fact, they shut down his blog. And they have the nerve to say, oh, he was so special. I saw a tweet from Pablo Hidalgo. Oh, a great friend, and he was amazing, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, maybe you should have read his fucking books. There's no better way to know how Star Wars was done than reading The Making of Star Wars by Rinzler. That book is special. All of his books are special. They're all excellent. Thank you. Oddly enough, I just got a copy of the Star Wars. Didn't know he wrote it. Was surprised to see his name in there. My knowledge is very limited, as you can see. That's okay. All of his books are excellent, and I'm very glad that you have it, because I remember your video of how much you love the EU, and you now have another very important piece of history from the real Star Wars. All of Jonathan's books are a true gem to behold. They are fantastic. Again, there will always be a link to All Up in his new book as well. And you can, of course, find them in bookstores, Amazon, what have you. Makes you sad, yeah, well. Thank you. It was a hug. Okay. I appreciate it, brother. And things are real crazy right now, but please keep streaming. Please keep going. I will be there at some point. If you like, I will guest with you. And I will help you anywhere I can. I'm reading his book on Alien now, and it's wonderful. I'm very sorry we lost him too. But we are fortunate in the fact that he has left us with so much incredible work. And that we can all enjoy it. Star Wars Authors passes away, and all I hear from Star Wars fans on YouTube and TikTok are how amazing the latest episode. Yeah. That's because all of these channels are fucking lost. They all have their heads up their asses, and they don't know the first thing about Star Wars. Because the only thing that anyone should have spoke of this week is Jonathan Rinzler. Not a fucking bullshit-ass cartoon. It is disappointing. Follow your heart, James. He was an amazing man. And while I never met him in person, I got to speak to him for about 15 minutes before that interview. We talked for about an hour and a half in that interview. And then ironically, he had to go. His wife and daughters wanted to go to dinner, and I know they were there, and he was anxious. But afterwards, in the back end of this, it's kind of like a green room where you can talk to your guests, and Jonathan and I actually talked for like another half an hour when neither one of us wanted to go. And it was just so awesome. He was so thankful to me. Just a guy that loves the film. Yes, they should. And please use the Force. I own all his nonfiction books and love them all. They're all fantastic. Favorite comic books, it's on my top 3. Jonathan Rinzler will be proud of how much love and passion you put on this channel. You helped us know the truth about Disney, and you helped us become true Star Wars fans. I appreciate it. Later on, get the making of books. Right now, I will notify you when all up arrives. Yes, please do. I hope you enjoy it. The Clone Wars fans, lightsabers, me reading a fucking book, throws Rinzler book at them. Throw it hard. Okay. I have a very quick few screenshots of Bad Batch this episode this week. There's really nothing, as always. It's a big nothing burger. It's a big filler, waste of time. The entire show has accomplished nothing. I will read you a quick article about the Mandalorian, and I'm going to close the stream. There's just not much to talk about, and this week, has been, in a way, absolutely amazing. And in a way, extremely difficult. So, it's not that I don't want to be here or be with you guys. I just need to get through this. And there's just not really anything going on with Star Wars. I have to move by the 31st. I'm not sure where I'm going to be. I will let you know in the coming weeks. There's a good chance I'm going to have to suspend these Friday streams at least for a few weeks. But I will be back. Everything will be okay. There will be videos coming. There's just a lot going on right now. And most likely I'll be going to New York, at least for a little while, to help a friend. So a lot of things will be happening and changing in the coming weeks and coming months. But once I figure everything out and get settled again, we will continue on with the Friday show. I believe the 25th is the quarterly report. I will, of course, do a stream that day, assuming I can, but I should be able to. And I will do the Fridays as long as I can. But most likely the month of September is going to be very quiet. And again, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, no, I will, after this, go over to you now, open up the cantina, and relax and hang out. So if anyone wants to afterwards, this stream, I wanted to stay on topic, and I just have to get through it. This is very difficult, so. I appreciate it. If anyone says A New Hope was the most boring Star Wars movie because there's only 4 scenes where they show lightsabers and think Dave Filoni can do better. Who that would say that? Then get off the stream and pre-order all of his books because I carefully explain how much of an idiot we are. The comments and streams is pretty limited. Okay. So August 5th, Star Wars Twitter. Star Wars: The Bad Batch will return for a second season in 2022. Prepare for the 2-part finale of season 1 starting tomorrow. I don't know who's watching this show or why, but there's literally nothing in this show. We see Fennec for 2 episodes, no backstory, no side story, no nothing. Just a member berry and an excuse of where she comes from for the Mandalorian. They have explained nothing. They have grown nothing. They have enriched nothing. All these episodes are filler, air, nonsense. They further break lore and canon. And I just don't get it. Disney Plus is losing subscribers. And they're continuing to do this nonsense. I feel so sorry for anyone that thinks they're going to get a Luke Skywalker. I feel so sorry for anyone that thinks Star Wars has any kind of chance. Because it doesn't. Give me a second. Let me check something. Okay, I stand corrected, and I'm glad I remembered. Let's see. Next Thursday, August 12th at 4:30 p.m. is the third quarter fiscal year 2021 earnings result. So next Thursday, 4:30 p.m., I will do that stream. We'll listen to the earnings report, laugh the fuck at Disney. That one will be an hour or two. So we'll hang out there for a bit. And then next Friday I'll do, I don't know what. We'll see whatever. So August 25th is actually the Disney Gallery behind the scenes of the Luke Skywalker season finale bullshit of Mandalorian. It will be a big nothing burger as well, but we'll talk about it. Who knows? Maybe I make a little video or something. We'll see. So August 25th is that. Next Thursday, August 12th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, is the quarterly earnings report. Be there or be square. Can you guys see? Yes. Okay, here's a little video about the is this what I okay. There's this, but there was something else too, but we'll take a quick look at this. Hold on. You should be able to hear it. If not, I'll replay it.
For the first time, it's real. We've traveled to the far reaches of the galaxy. We got recruited by the Resistance. And now we're ready.
Come on, Dad! We gotta go save the ship!
No. We're gonna save the galaxy. For the first time, it's real.
Was it this?
They send you.
Yes, okay.
Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is a first of its kind experience, right? Where we're inviting guests to step into a galaxy far, far away and live out a Star Wars story over 2 days and 2 nights.
The stories that are going to take place on our Galactic Star Cruiser were designed to intersect with the stories of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge when both were in development at the same time.
You might meet one of our characters on a screen first. Then you help them board. Then you smuggle their luggage using the skills that you just learned. Right, on the bridge, right? Then they appear on the ship. Basically, they walk into the room. Then you see them later. They send you a message saying, thanks for your help with the luggage, right? Like, it's just kind of mind-blowing how we get to connect all of these pieces. This has to be fun for people who love Star Wars, and for the people who love Star Wars, everyone has an entry point. Everyone has a way to access this. Everyone can see themselves as part of it. It's not, this is just for some people. It really is and truly is for everybody.
So they're going to have actors. They look nothing like the characters of Star Wars. And we're supposed to be excited. And by the way, it's for everybody. $6,000 for 2 nights. Stream in 2 parts when the pilot was an hour long. Have it out. Oh, well, stretch it out. I can already tell you all what's going to happen. They're assembling a crew. The whole point was to go rescue Hunter. They got Hunter back. They said to contact Rex. They have Gregor. They're all going to get together. They're going to meet up with Ahsoka. She's going to have an assault squad. And here we go. So season 2 is going to be them gallivanting around the fucking galaxy with Ahsoka. I will be shocked if we do not see Ahsoka now in this finale. Best friend is watching it for some reason. No matter how much I insist to him to stop, he just still won't. Yeah, I don't get it. Thank you, MJ. Hello. Chip was a movie years ago, so he was also pretty much. Dude. I'm going to review the episode. Please stop talking about it. Very kind and patient. That also shows on his books. Honestly shocked that there is going to be season 2. How did they green? I have no idea. I have no idea. But this is just a reminder that Disney does not give a goddamn. No, they don't know how to Star Wars. I still can't believe the Evangelion shaving commercial is more respectful than this. Yep. $6,000 for a fake ass Star Wars fan fiction thing. Nope. Nope. All Karens. Mod out of that Star Cruiser or Battlefront. About who the heck thought that would be a good idea. Love Galaxy Edge. Don't watch movies because they're boring. She had all these shirts but doesn't want to watch the movies. He was nowhere. It's not for everyone. I feel I'm watching a High Republic video. Lucky for me, I haven't seen Bad Batch, and I think I'm lucky for that. Yes, it sucks. If the Orville is a new Star Trek, any idea yet on what is the new Star Wars? I have no clue. No clue. That's not Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's Kobe Don Kenobi. All right. Obi-Wan Kentucky? Yes. I haven't read this. I've just skimmed it, so I'll be reacting to it with you. Let's see. Mandalorian star gives season 3 update. Pedro Pascal not needed to begin. He was never needed because he was never in the suit. He does the voice. Posted on August 1st, 2021. As the darling of Star Wars galaxy, The Mandalorian shows no signs of slowing down. While it is going to be a long wait until the return of Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin, the Bounty Hunter series is sure to be stellar when it does begin, possibly next year. One star of the Disney Plus show has recently offered an update. Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian launched with Disney's streaming service back in November 2019 and has gone on to rise up the ranks of the most commercially and critically successful projects in the Star Wars universe, boasting a cast of names like Carl Weathers, Gina Cara Dune, Fennec Shand, Moff Gideon in the inaugural season. The Mandalorian Season 2 then welcomed performers like Katie Sackhoff and Rosario Dawson and Tamara Morrison. All Ahsoka, all the fucking time. What happens in The Mandalorian Season 3 is anyone's guess. The Season 3 finale, of course, saw the return of Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker after a momentous battle with Moff Gideon's Dark Trooper squad. With Grogu now in the hands of Skywalker and the Darksaber in the hands of Din Djarin, Season 3 could see the continuation of the legendary Darksaber story arc. It's extremely likely Sackhoff will return as Bo-Katan after appearing in the second season, so chances are the battle for Mandalore could commence in this next outing. In terms of Season 3, Pascal offered an update a few weeks ago, and later we heard reports recently that production had begun, now that December's The Book of Boba Fett has wrapped filming. The Boba Fett series is even being called The Mandalorian Season 2.5, with characters from Favreau's Bounty Hunter series reportedly making appearances as guest stars alongside Morrison's Boba Fett and Wen's Fennec Shand. The two bounty hunters set up the spin-off in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale after they returned to Tatooine to claim Jabba's throne. As with most news regarding big entertainment projects, fans can usually rely on the stars to give updates, and the Mandalorian is no different. Speaking at the GalaxyCon rally, Moff Gideon actor Giancarlo Esposito has given Star Wars fans a hint at when The Mandalorian Season 3 may begin. They just finished shooting Boba Fett, and soon they will start on a Season 3. We learned from Fennec Shand actress Min-Na Wen the Book of Boba Fett had recently finished filming. It was also revealed that Robert Rodriguez, director of Mandalorian Season 2 Chapter 14, The Tragedy, is the showrunner of the Boba Fett series. However, as with The Mandalorian, the new series will feature multiple directors, even bringing back some of those that helmed The Mandalorian's episode. So, Robert Rodriguez is basically writing the Book of Boba Fett, and it will be a bunch of different directors. Esposito also went on to comment on how, despite his namesake, Pedro Pascal is not needed to begin the next season. We never have to wait on Pedro, Esposito said, noting that the title character wears a helmet a lot, leaving Pascal the option to voice the character when he can't be in the suit. And as I have shown you in the video, the Mandalorian is not who you think he is. Confirmed by Bryce Dallas Howard saying he wasn't even on the set during her episode. Pedro Pascal has done little to nothing for the Mandalorian. He was there to take off his helmet, and he does the voice. They don't even need him. Along with reports of productions starting, it was also suggested that due to Pascal's involvement in HBO's The Last of Us, The Mandalorian Season 3 would be waiting for its leading man to begin production. Esposito, however, says Pascal isn't needed, which makes sense because of his significant helmet wearing. The Breaking Bad actor replied to questions on whether Star Wars fans are likely to see more of a helmetless Din Djarin in the upcoming series. I can't speak to that. I mean, he'd love to be more off the helmet, but his job is to be in the helmet. You know what I mean? That's the deal. He'd love to be more off the helmet. Does anyone remember this big drama a year ago? That he was crying on the set? That he was throwing fits because he wanted time on camera? Does it ring a bell to anybody? And then a more sinister comment, reminiscent of his starring role as Gus Fring in Breaking Bad, Esposito teased at where Season 3 may go. And it could include the demise of the lovable Grogu, a.k.a. Baby Yoda. As said earlier, the plot of The Mandalorian Season 3 is tightly under wraps, but if executive producer Dave Filoni has much input in the project, then it's sure to continue to tie into the ever-growing Star Wars universe. It is sure to continue to tie into the ever-growing Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian will exit alongside the Book of Boba Fett. Will exist alongside the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka in the same timelines, around 5 years after the events of Skywalker Saga's original trilogy conclusion, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, 1983. So all eyes will be on this potentially massive Star Wars event. It is good news to hear The Mandalorian will be filming soon, and hopefully will stay on track for this potential 2022 release. Filming firmly cementing itself into Star Wars history. So, yeah, not a whole lot going on with Star Wars. Let's take a look at some screenshots from Bad Batch, and we will wrap it up. This episode, like all the episodes, was freaking pointless. A big waste of time. I'm not even going to tell you the whole episode. I'm not even going to review the whole episode because there was nothing there. The point is, Hunter, the Rambo-looking guy, got captured last week. They take him back to Camino. Naturally, they're going to come to save him. Crosshair activates a homing beacon that's on Hunter so that they'll come. Here, they are... hold on a second. Right now, I don't even remember why she said this, but there was some... oh, okay. So they're talking about going to rescue Hunter. I think it's Echo that says, but how are we going to do that? They're going to be waiting for us. And she says, we can go to the secret platform on Camino. And one of them, I think Echo says, oh, but there's going to be all kinds of troopers down there on that platform. And Omega says, no, not on this platform. Trust me. This 10-year-old kid knows every fucking thing. No matter where they go, what they do, this little girl knows every fucking thing. It's enough already. It's ridiculous. So these grown men don't know how they're going to infiltrate this planet, but this 10-year-old girl is constantly knows every goddamn thing. They come out of hyperspace by Camino. You can see there's 2 Star Destroyers right here. This little ship comes right out of hyperspace and just flies straight to the planet. There's 2 Star Destroyers right here. For what? If a ship came into the sector, they've seized Camino. They would hail them and say, what are the codes? What is your business? No, they just fly in like it's all good. Now, I know some jackass out there is going to say, but it's a trap. Of course they're going to let them go to the planet. Yes, but the Empire is also going to play it off. They're not just going to be like, oh, go ahead. No, they're going to hail them. They're going to say, warning, and they're going to want a confirmation code to get to the fucking planet. No, they just fly in like it's all good next to 2 Star Destroyers. So they come to the planet. They're over the water, and Omega's like, go there. Like, this girl also knows the layout and coordinates of everything on fucking Camino. Fine. They get over the water, and she's like, go lower. And they go lower, and they go lower, and they go lower. And Tech is like, but if I go any water and lower, we're going to hit the water. And she's like, you have to get lower so the platform activates. Again, this little girl knows everything. So they get closer to the water. This platform starts coming up through and up out of the water. And there's this landing platform that this 10-year-old knows exactly where it is and that it exists. So they land on the platform, and there's like these tubes that you can go through. We'll take the tube system. Or they say, what do we do now? How are we going to get to the Camino? And the little girl that knows everything will take the tube system. So not only does she know about the platform, she knows where it's located, how to approach it, and she also knows about this super secret tube system that goes all around Camino. Give me 1 second. All right, the fan was blowing me away and I'm freezing in here. So this 10-year-old knows every fucking thing at all times. Naturally, she walks right up to the console, starts tapping it, turns on everything, and they go off on the tube because, this 10-year-old knows every fucking thing. So they try to justify it with, how do you know all this? Oh, Nala Say told me, because this takes us to her secret lab. Here's a scene where they're moving Hunter around inside a Camino while they wait for the Bad Batch to come and try to rescue him. And I want you to look at his armor. Is there anything that sticks out about his armor? Last week or the week before, I don't even remember because the shit is so stupid. Gregor gets shot in the chest twice. Do you remember the 2 big ass holes in his fucking shit? Well, like 3-4 episodes ago, Hunter got shot in the chest and his armor is perfectly fine. Now, if you were in battle regiments, if you were by supply stations, if you were on Camino, fine, you got a new chest plate. But fuck you, you're in the middle of space with one suit, you're fugitives on the run, and you got shot in the chest. Not only did you survive that shot, which is bullshit, because every time in Star Wars a stormtrooper gets shot, he fucking dies. No, this dumbass not only is fine, but he doesn't even have a burn scar on the fucking armor, which had a hole in it that should have killed him anyways. Because Disney. Because Dave Filoni has never watched fucking Star Wars in his life. So they go through all this talk, whatever. The Bad Batch shows up. They capture them. Here's that female, the 2 female. Well, one of them's out of the room. There's a female clone and some other dumb dork clones. If you clone something, that is an exact duplicate. So if you clone a male Jango Fett, you are not going to get females. I don't understand why Disney, Lucasfilm, Dave Filoni, Pablo Hidalgo, and airheads that like this ridiculous show don't get. You do not clone a male bounty hunter and end up with female clone soldiers. It's really simple. And for some reason, people cannot get their heads around this. So over here is Crosshair. They're like in a standoff, surrounded. And Crosshair's got his pistol pointed at his blaster at Hunter. They're arguing. Crosshair shoots a shot like randomly somewhere, and it goes like pow, 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 bounces all around. It hits this guy, kills him. It bounces. Hits this guy, kills him. It bounces. Hits this guy, kills him. It bounces and hits this guy and kills him. Or one of them's the girl. We have seen several people get hit by lasers in Star Wars for 43 fucking years. No, the laser would not bounce around and take out targets bouncing around. Those lasers hit a target and they're done. The Last Jedi, the big battle of Crate, Rey flying around the Millennium Falcon, better than Han could ever do. Do you remember she shoots 3 TIE fighters with one shot? Anybody remember that nonsense? No, that's not how Star Wars works. Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, Pablo Hidalgo, Jar Jar fucking Abrams. Have you ever watched Star Wars? When a laser hits a ship or a body in Star Wars, the laser stops. The laser is absorbed into the target, and that's the end of it. The laser does not bounce around. The laser does not go through. The laser certainly doesn't take out 3 TIE fighters with one shot. And I don't care who you are. You don't shoot a laser. It bounces off like this staircase. Boom, kills him, kills him, kills him, and kills him. The one shot. I don't know what they are smoking at Disney. Honestly, I do not know what they're smoking. But the shit is ridiculous. I'm skipping a lot because there's really nothing. There's just no point of this shit. But anyways, the key points. So here's Tarkin. Here's this other admiral, whatever dickhead name. I can't even remember. Don't matter. Admiral Dickhead. Okay. They say a couple things in this conversation. What really matters is this. The cloning technology is now firmly under Imperial control. All the clones were decommissioned, and there was nothing else about clones in Star Wars. But they are doing this to very subtly do what? Prepare you for, number 1, Grogu, I think, is a clone. Number 2, Snoke. So that you accept that they continued the cloning. They got all the chief medical officers so they could clone. There's no mention of Palpatine wanting it or that's what they're going to do. They just subtly say the cloning technology is firmly under Imperial control. Why? Why are they going through so much trouble over decommissioned clones and cloning technology? Because of Snoke. That then justifies Palpatine. And if Palpatine is justifiable, then it's justifiable that he had a granddaughter who's really a daughter, because if he's a clone, then he's not a son, he's a duplicate that looks nothing like Palpatine and has nothing, no powers or wisdom or anything like Palpatine. He's just some random ass guy that was a failure. His clone was not even a clone, it was like some, because remember, a clone is an exact duplicate, but Disney doesn't understand this. So that son of his then had Rey. I'm so sorry for anyone that thought Star Wars was coming back. I'm so sorry for anyone that thought, oh, they're going to fix Luke with the Mandalorian. You've been had, and I've proven it to you like 100 times already. They want the cloning technology because they need to clone Snoke. That then explains and justifies Palpatine, who then justifies and explains Rey. All of this nonsense, this dumb-ass show, everything that Disney's doing is to justify Rey. And who is Rey? Kathleen Kennedy. The person that everybody says, she's fired, she's done, she's going to be gone. Right. They're going to get rid of the sequel trilogy. Right. That's the very first one. Okay, so that's it. Literally. Nothing happened in the episode. Another big waste of time. The Bad Batch, all it has accomplished is show us that Disney knows nothing about what clones are. Omega's this amazing super child that knows everything, and she's 10 fucking years old. 11, maybe 12, but she's 10 years old. And in every situation, any planet, ship, wherever they are, this little girl knows how to fight, fly, shoot, secret bases and entrances. I mean, it just goes on and on and on with this fucking Omega. Why? To justify Rey. Jake Skywalker ain't going nowhere. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are not going to save Star Wars. They're not going to do anything. For those of you that think that Dave Filoni cares or knows Star Wars, I feel so bad for you. Because once again, they show you that they don't give a fuck, that all of this is going to connect the sequel trilogy. And all of this mess comes from Rey. Because now they desperately need to justify their princess, Mary Sue, the cardboard cutout actress with a character that has zero of anything. Yet she can do anything. And they desperately, for that forces female agenda that Kathleen Kennedy implemented and said, fuck George Lucas and his stories. We need to make a female. And Dave Filoni was like, yeah, let's go. They've admitted they never had a plan. The actors admitted that they don't have a plan. They literally just made all of this shit up as they go. And then they put themselves in the corner with Mary Sue Rey. And now that people called them out, they have to do everything in the world to justify her, including making an entire cartoon about nothing. Just to justify that, look, they saved the cloning technology, and look, this is how it happened. This is all about Rey. And at the end of the day, who is Rey? Kathleen Kennedy. And that's it. That's literally the Bad Batch. Hi, remember Barry Fennec Shan that does nothing. We learn nothing about her. They are running around the galaxy trying to keep Omega safe. These are fugitives that stand out. Nobody recognizes them. They just freely roam around. Omega knows how to do any and everything. She even rides on the back of a fucking Rancor. This kid is so amazing. She's the one that the clones technology is going to come from. The magic Omega is going to then create Snoke, which then creates Palpatine, which then creates Mary Sue Rey. All of this nonsense, all of this wasted and thrown away money and time to justify Rey. And that's all I really have. I'll read your comments. And I'm going to end this stream. Obi-Wan, Kentucky, indeed. Disney thinking like Gennaro from Jurassic Park. We can charge $6,000 a day or $10,000 a day, and people will pay it. And yes, some dumbasses will pay it. Well then, I'll have to make my story Blue Shogun, the new Star Wars. Please do. Does the voice and the only scenes without the helmet? Yep. It's like John Wayne's grandson or something who does the suit. Yes, Brendan Wayne. What a waste to only use that guy for the suit. Yep. All that money for fake Star Wars, for a claustrophobic room and some boring missions. With that money, I could spend more than 15 days in a beach with my family and eat some excellent food. Absolutely. And let me tell you something. If it was an authentic George Lucas made experience, it might be worth it. But to pay $6,000 for fake Star Wars? What are they going to do? Continue to justify Rey. They have to continue the chain. How Snoke came. Become the holy grail of all of a sudden. Oh yeah, Star Wars is about lightsabers. I cringed when I saw Solo and Darth Maul turned on his lightsaber for no reason. And of course, everyone lost their shit because simply turning on a lightsaber is the best thing in Star Wars. It's the best thing in Disney Star Wars. That's a lot of dough for 2 nights. It sure is. Sorry, my back's a little bit tight. What's up, Jigga? Thank you, bro. You can order it. The link is in the description of all my videos. It's actually a great book. I have a copy that he personally sent to me signed. And I don't know how much you heard or how much you know, but that guy right there is a personal friend of mine, and he just died of pancreatic cancer on the 28th. You want to know what's my favorite moment of Star Wars of A New Hope? The scene where Luke turns on Anakin's lightsaber. It is a good scene. Mando season 3. If they don't think they need to wait for the start of the show, then that's a sign that the show is going to tank, because who cares? Dave Filoni is the next Stanley Kubrick. I remember that drama. Yep. So they might bring back Grogu. Then what's the point of having Luke coming back for him? I mean, there's no point to any of this. It's just all revolves around Rey. Pascal is such a prima donna. Yes. Pedro loves his face. At least somebody does. He's not that good. No, he's not. I know many women were like, why did you take off the helmet? You were actually cool when you were mysterious. He's not the prettiest. Did Disney say R.I.P. to Carrie Fisher? I don't know. Not really. Not properly. I don't think so, but I don't really know yet. Not that I remember. Not anything. I'm sure they wrote one little thing like, oh, our amazing Carrie Fisher. We love her so much. She was great. Hunter's literally Rambo. He wears a bandana, has the same hair and some facial features, carries a knife with him. He becomes a fugitive and draws first blood. Clone Wars fan. It's just a bandana. Have you ever seen First Blood? What a lazy writing to just make Omega a Mary Sue. Yes. All of the... Listen, guys. Dave Filoni was part of... Clueless, how are you? Dave Filoni was part of the creation of mess of Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. He was there with Rian Johnson shitting on Luke Skywalker and making Rey the bestest ever. He's the one that said it's not about Obi-Wan, it's about Leia, and she's the chosen one. So they went and they created Rey. They went against what George Lucas had built and created and handed them an outline of Kira. They created Mary Sue Rey. And now they desperately need to explain her, because nobody cares about Mary Sue Rey. And they need an explanation for her. And they have literally spent millions of dollars trying to convince you that she's legit. And here we are with the Bad Batch. What's First Blood? She knows about that platform. I get that she's lived there her whole life, but so have the other clones. What the hell? What the hell? Pizza time, everyone. Don't forget. I know Lama Sue's dead. Why did they have to just cut away right after the door shuts? No gun sound or anything? What rating is this show again? No idea. His armor looks so different. Omega so badly ridden that she could defeat young Anakin in pod racing. Oh, I'm sure she could. There's not anything that little girl can't do or doesn't know. Because the Force is female. See, we're going to establish Omega as one of these amazing characters that can do anything, so that later, again, justifying Rey. I would have no issues with Omega's skills or knowledge if they gave her some flaws. They seem like they were the beginning, but now she just feels barely two-dimensional. Yeah. They're taking too long to release Bad Batch episode. People are going to slowly lose interest in the Bad Batch. Well, there's only one left, so at this point. Sometimes she's the most intelligent superhero alive. Then other times she acts 5. Yeah, well, Disney. Did they establish that the Clone Wars here are the pre-Stormtroopers and all the actual regs are shipped somewhere else? Yes, they did exactly that. In the past couple episodes, they've been showing Stormtroopers floating around and how they're replacing clones. And in this episode, they even mentioned that the regular clones were shipped off-world, and all that's there is Imperial garrisons, and they've occupied Kamino. They did literally what you just said. Yep. How can you make female clones when all the clones are men? Because Disney. Only one time the laser bounced in the trash compactor. That was magnetically sealed in a tight, closed place. And yeah, they shot at a wall. But if that laser would have hit any one of them, while you may think it's going to go right through, first of all, if it goes right through, it's going to change the angle and velocity of the bolt, so that it keeps bouncing around is ridiculous. And second of all, that's not how Star Wars works. When you or anything gets shot, the laser is absorbed into that impact. It doesn't pass through and shoot 3 TIE fighters with one shot. It does not bounce around a room and kill people. Now, in theory, if the room was magnetically sealed, could the bolt bounce around? Sure, as we saw and is established in canon. But the issue is that once it hits one of the bodies, the body in the armor would absorb the blast. No, this hits a body, bounces, kills another body, bounces, kills another body, bounces, and kills the 4th body. This bolt is just passing through people like it's all good. And meanwhile, for 40 fucking years, we all know that if you get shot with a blaster bolt, the blaster bolt stays within you and you die. Have you ever watched Star Wars? Dave Filoni? Apparently not. And this is the guy that so many people want to praise. If Omega was a pure unaltered clone, could she be a mini Boba like in episode 2, not a girl? If they established that she was altered like the Bad Batch, it would make sense. But they said the opposite. They also showed the lab where they were made, and she said, this is where I was made, and so were you guys. This is where they started to alter the clones, or whatever she says. So we went from 1.2 million clones that were all pretty much perfect, and that was it. The Clone Wars is over, they get decommissioned. Now we get to Bad Batch, which was a defective crew of clones. Do you remember 99 from the Clone Wars? Then they decide, no, they're actually not defective. They actually have superhuman powers because their gene code is fucked up. So now they're all super mutants. And in this episode, Omega says that this is where the altering began, where they began to experiment with you. So now they're saying that on purpose these clones are this way. Disney can't make up its mind. Why don't they just immediately switch to the regular Stormtrooper armor instead of the armor from last episode? was it, what is it? Phase 3 armor that they didn't use but didn't want to going to waste. Every time I watch this show lately, I'm thinking the same thing. Why are we going through all these versions of, no, that's not how it works. Palpatine takes over, they get decommissioned, and he immediately has stormtroopers. And those stormtroopers have always worn the same suit with the same fucking helmet. And instead, we're going through all these renditions of clones that are becoming stormtroopers, and it's just dumb. Why would you be constantly be making new armor and suits and helmets for troops that have been decommissioned of a war that's over? That in lore, Palpatine did not want anything to do with. He got rid of them. And here we are making more clones and more suits and going through renditions, and then the transition to the Stormtrooper. There's all these different suits. Why would you waste the time and money on this? You wouldn't. Palpatine wouldn't do that. It's already established in lore that he did not do that. But have you ever watched Star Wars? Dave Filoni? Apparently not. Cloning, just bad patches. The Clone Wars, wasn't there a clone with 2 different colored eyes? I believe there was. I think so. What the fuck? That episode was almost the last one. It's the second to last, and they have established nothing. They have built nothing. All they've said is, oh, they got the cloning technology, which shows you one thing, one reason they say that and show that and did this whole thing was to take the scientists from Kamino and destroy Kamino. Why? To be able to fucking clone Snoke. And yet people out here think that Star Wars is going to be saved. People out here say there's a civil war. No, they are all working together to do one thing: try to justify Mary Sue Ray. I'm starting to hate this. Maybe Not My Star Wars was right. Tarkin, you may fire when you're ready. The Clone Wars fans, oh my God, he said that thing. This is the best episode of any show, huh? Yeah, it's great. Ray is the worst thing to have. Yep, she literally is. Because all of this stupidity is revolving around Ray. And it's fucking stupid. You have destroyed a franchise because this fucking woman with her forced female bullshit. And all these great geniuses and people that were Lucas's apprentice just sat and watched. And furthermore, they threw fuel on the fire. I literally fell asleep during the recap. Must have been unimportant. There was literally nothing. I think I asked this before, but I just want to go over it again. For those who didn't hear before, is X-23 technically not a female clone of Wolverine, since she looks nothing like him and is his daughter? No. Is not technically not, no. A clone is an exact duplicate. If it results in anything else, it's not a clone. It's very simple definition. An exact replica or duplicate. Not different color hair. Not different color eyes. Not one's female, one's male. No. If I clone this fucking bottle, whether once or 50 trillion times, they are all going to be identical. Whoa. Backhead, it's awoken. Stop being so sexist. You're just an evil Star Wars hater. Yep. It's a show about nothing. How does it end? With fans suffering. Only suffering. Only suffering. Yeah, well, Disney. How are they going to do Sid's constipation pills? I don't know. They just never learned. Nope. 6K for that? Yep. I'm super proud to have skipped all of the back. It's fucking the dumbest shit ever. It literally, I don't understand how anybody watches or praises the show. It's fucking sad. I did know him. I have an interview with him. Here's the link. If you would ever like to see it, it was great. Din Djarin just doesn't hold a candle to Boba Fett. Nope. Because he's not cool. Mando is a cowboy and Pascal is not a cowboy. Wayne is a cowboy and he is cool because of it. Good point. What's up, Open Airlock? Good to see you, buddy. I'm getting raided. Matza, nice to see you. Quietly quiet. It's a sneaky raid. Hello, guys. For those of you raiding, I highly encourage you to watch the beginning of this. It was very difficult to do, but Jonathan was my friend, and it would do me a great honor if you did. Also, I just posted a link to an interview I did with him last year. It was fantastic, and I hope that you will enjoy it, and I hope that you will help the algorithm in these days to play that video. What Star Wars Means to Us with Jonathan Rinzler, with Lucasfilm Executive Editor Jonathan W. Rinzler. You will love it, I promise you. And I just posted the link. It's on my channel under the play. It's on the live stream playlist, and it is in the What Star Wars Means to Us playlist. Please check it out. I've never seen a franchise get more disrespected than Star Wars. It's the most popular franchise of all time, and this is how it's treated 40 years later. Correct. Sent me to raid. Thank you, Open Airlock. I appreciate you, bro. I really do. Thank you, guys. Omega finds a cure for cancer. She will. Raid. Very good. Quietly. Very good. I like that very much. Where was she in Attack of the Clones? If she's Boba's sister. Correct. But this is what happens when you have to insert things to justify your fuck-ups. It all revolves around Rey. And it saddens me that people don't acknowledge that. Why don't they acknowledge it? Because they don't want to admit that the Mandalorian season 3 finale or season 2 finale was a big fucking waste of time. Because it's just gonna end up with Jake Skywalker. Fuck Disney, fuck the Mandalorian, and fuck everything that they do and say. Dave Dildoni is a fucking tool. He certainly is. They put Tarkin there to say his famous line just to get people to shut up and praise the show. Peter Cushing was still alive, he would be pissed. I'm sure he would. I very much doubt he would agree to be a part of any of this. After Vader gets the suit, we never see another clone trooper in the rest of the movie. There were no troopers on the Star Destroyer when they were building the Death Star. As soon as Palpatine takes over, he decommissions the clones. He wants nothing to do with them. Immediately, there are stormtroopers. There is no extended cloning on Camino and extra different suits and different troopers. And no, fucking no. Have you watched Star Wars, Dave Filoni? Apparently not. Can't wait to see the members of the Clone Rebellion, all three of them. Why do we need this Rex building this Clone Rebellion when it's just going to be him, Gregor, and Wolf? Bestest coffee ever. Nice. That actually sounds good. I'm going to make some coffee here, I think, in a minute. Well, if he retires during Rebels and joins the Rebellion with the Ghost Crew, this would be a pretty bad retcon. And it will be. I forgot Omega is even a clone all the time. Why couldn't she have black hair and be a boy? Because Disney. Kathleen Kennedy, you have failed this franchise. You had one job, KK. Please be sure to watch the Rinzler interview. You will absolutely love it. So he joined the rebellion, then got old and retired, then joined again. Well, if they can make it make sense, that I'll be impressed. Yeah. Good luck. What's up, MJ? It would have been nice if Rinzler could have completed all the Star Wars project. Yeah. It would have been and there's this blog that has never been fully released. I will be talking with his family soon. I don't know what they're going to do about that, but we will have that discussion. And maybe if I'm very lucky, they will give me the honor of being the one to post it or make a video or something about it. We will see. I'm not making any promises. I'm not making any assumptions, but we'll see. I most certainly would love to be that person. And I most certainly think that I'm the one that deserves it more than anyone. Short of the blog themselves running that, his family themselves running that blog. It would have been nicer, right? Hello all. Hey now. Hey, this and that. Hey there. Who plays Omega? Anyway, as a matter of fact, I just saw it. It's some Asian girl. She's cute. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. Truly. Then Star Wars fans are the ones getting played. Aren't we always? I guess S2 is when we're going to see how Hera's mother dies. Why do we need that? Disney really wants every single piece of detail of the universe explained so they can tie it in with Rey. Thank you for reminding me that Hera was even in the show, because again, it was pointless. God. Fucking member berries for no reason. My pleasure. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Again, I cannot stress to anyone that's watching this now or anytime in the future, it's an amazing interview, and I hope that you enjoy it. And quite frankly, it's the best interview he's done online. I'd be fine with storyline around Hera like that if it wasn't in the Bad Batch. You want to make Hera's story, give her own origin show. Well, too late. Well, that's exactly what they're doing. By the way, they had just hired a bunch of Marvel people, MCU people for Obi-Wan, I think. There was some little article that I was like, oh, whatever, I don't give a shit. But they literally just hired like 3 or 4 people that were in the MCU. So yes, it's all going to be this big MCU nonsense. That's what Star Wars has become. They don't know what to do with it, so they're like, well, let's do the MCU thing. And that's what they're doing. With all of Disney's retconning, it's such a mess that it is not Star Wars. It certainly is not my Star Wars. And as my good friend said, it's not his Star Wars either. That's exactly why he left fucking Disney Lucasfilm. Because he said, I couldn't even recognize the place anymore. Those episodes focus on Hera would have been fine, better show work, a better story. Since they're slow. Yeah, it's their show. Sorry. Clone Wars Count Dooku's eyes are red. Attack of the Clones, he's not a violent murderer. People were pissed off at him not being completely evil, so now he ruthlessly kills people in the Clone Wars. I don't think I'm going to watch the last episode till after your stream. I don't want to accidentally spoil anything in. Well, all you have to do is not type. Just leave this shit alone. That's all you got to do. All right. I wish I had more. That's really all that's going on. A whole lot of nothing. The Bad Batch is such a big waste of time and fucking money. It has done nothing for the Star Wars universe. Nothing for anything or anybody. Just waste fucking time. They could have done everything that happened in one episode. And here we are, we're 16 episodes of air. It's worthless. It's so fucking stupid. That show, The Bad Batch, is just dumb. Don't waste your time. There's nothing to see. Move along. Move along. These are not the droids you're looking for. Maybe I'll watch it when I catch up on the Clone Wars season finale. That, of course, is up to you. You're just would be wasting your time. But might watch Rebels too. Oh, that's an even bigger waste of time. But to each his own. If it gets the same amount of seasons as the Clone Wars, I'm going to be so bored. Can't imagine it would, but all of this revolves around Rey. They have trapped themselves with freaking Rey because they didn't think it through, because they didn't use a plan, they didn't make a plan, and because they disregarded George's stories and did whatever the hell they wanted to do. And here we are. I don't know how many times I have to show you guys that it all leads back to Jake. But I guess some of you will finally figure it out eventually. I wish I had more to talk about. I wish that my friend hadn't passed. I wish a lot of things, but here we are. I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to stay on topic. I need to get some more air. It has, again, been very difficult. One of the hardest things I ever had to do. But naturally, I, of all people, had to talk about Jonathan tonight. He has a Twitter. He has a YouTube. Please check them out. Leave a message for his family. He is one of the most influential and important parts of all of the Star Wars franchise. He's now gone, but his books are there. They will last forever. And not only was he a great guy, but those books are absolutely fantastic. So please check out his books. They continue the legacy of real Star Wars. They give you something beautiful to hang on to. True canon. Mostly behind the scenes stuff, but true canon. They enrich the story. And they give us beautiful memories. Unlike everything that Disney does today, it does nothing for the franchise. It doesn't further or push anything. It doesn't expand it. It all is just trying to justify Rey. And that's not my Star Wars. I thank you guys as always. I love you guys so much. The reason I succeed is because of you. Have I ever met George Lucas? Don't you think I would have talked about that or made a video about that? The closest I have gotten to George Lucas and real Star Wars is this man right here. Ever bored on my Star Wars? You're welcome to watch my short Star Wars video edits on my channel. The music ones with demonetized streams or videos, but the fake trailers are good. I will certainly take a look. I appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. This stream was difficult. I don't have the best energy. I'm tired to begin with, and it's never easy talking about the loss of a friend. Especially one that was such an important part of something that I love so very much. He touched millions of lives, Jonathan Rinzler. Take the time, make sure that you touch at least one. Every stream and video I do from now on is dedicated to my friend. And there's a link. This is a fundraiser for St. Jude. I will try next time, if I can, to link up to the pancreatic cancer fundraiser. And if not, it will continue to always be for St. Jude. Every stream will be this way, and the fundraiser is set to just keep going. So whether it's today, tomorrow, next month, next year, you can always contribute to that fundraiser, as it will be not only on those videos, but in every video that I make from here forward. Hang in there. There will be news. Things will happen. I have to make some adjustments and changes here in the coming weeks. I don't know how long or where I'm going to end up and settle, but as soon as I can, you will have videos. You will have the Friday streams again. For now, everything's still on schedule. I will let you know when the final things are happening. Next Thursday, we have the quarterly report. The 25th, we have the Luke Skywalker, and I will do every Friday that I can in between. Just know that come September, I'm probably going to have to take a break because I simply don't know what I'm going to be doing or where I will be at that moment. Whatever happens, Not My Star Wars is not going anywhere. Especially after that bullshit they pulled with my friend. And while I will never tell you to go to Disney World and set a match to it, or to hurt anybody, or to do anything crazy, just know, Disney Lucasfilm, because I know you listen to me and you watch me. Oh, you know me. And when I get resettled, you're really going to know me. Because if you thought I was loud before, I'm going to shake the fucking rafters for the nerve that they had to talk about my friend. Do me a favor, Aurora. I have a lot going on. At the end of this stream, or on this one, once it becomes like a replay, leave me a link or a comment at least, so I remember your username and you're there and I can follow you back. I have so much right now, I can't even pretend to. Make sure you leave a comment or a link or something. At least say, hey, this is Aurora. Come, you mentioned me in the stream, something like that, and I will take a look. Meeting George Lucas is the dream. I always aspire to it. I only hope. And guys, he's 77 years old. We could lose him tomorrow too. So I also want to remind you guys, or ask you guys again, if you had one question that you could ask George, what would it be? I can't say why or how right now, but please trust me. If you have a question for George Lucas, and make it a good one, don't think of something silly. Think of a really great question for him. Please let me know. Comment it on the stream. You can reach me at mystarwars1977@gmail. I have all the social medias. Trust me when I tell you, give me a question that you want for George Lucas. Have a good night. You do too. Thank you so much for coming. And I promise in the future I'll have more energy and better things to talk about, and we're going to have fun again. Just this past month has been very difficult. I am too. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Again, leave a comment on this stream so I can remember and find you. Winged Freak terrorizes. Well, wait till they get a load of me. Get ready, Disney. You really stepped in the poodoo now. I will be closing this in about 15 minutes after I get some air. I will be going over to you now, and I'll be starting up the cantina as I always do. So for those of you that know you now, I will be there soon. And for those of you that don't, it's an amazing platform where we can all just hang out very intimately. And while, by all means, we talk about Star Wars there, it's not so much Star Wars, it's just a great place to meet friends and hang out and have fun. We have a lot of fun at the cantina, and I hope that at least some of you will come over and visit and check it out, because you now is actually a pretty amazing thing. And right now, while the YouTube is not going anywhere, while I will continue to be here and do whatever I can, I'm not giving up on YouTube. The truth is that right now this channel has not moved an inch because YouTube is refusing to show anything that I have made. I've even lost some subscribers. This channel is just stuck. It's not dead. And like I said, I have only begun. But right now, there's just nothing going on in Star Wars, and this channel is stuck. But on You Now, we have an amazing time, and that channel is growing insanely fast. So I have to put my energy and love into what is working. It is also a place where you can hang with me as just me and not as Not My Star Wars. So anyways, the link over there is there. Everywhere I will always continue to be Not My Star Wars and do what I do as Not My Star Wars. But on You Now, I'm Daddy Star Wars. And I'm just me. So I hope to see some of you there. And again, at any time, but again, in about 15 minutes or so, I will open up the cantina over there. And I can unwind and breathe and hopefully get a smile today. Well, to be fair, I had a few smiles earlier today, but yeah. Thank you as always. You guys are why I'm here. You guys are why I've succeeded. And in fact, this channel and you guys are the reason why I got the opportunity on You Now. And that is going great. So for nothing else, this channel is kind of becoming on pause, but it's not going anywhere. But it also is the reason why I have met so many new people and have another great opportunity on the other end. Hang in there. Love you guys. Please watch the Rinzler interview. You will love it. And I truly thank all of you. If you have any questions or anything you need me to pass on to Jonathan's family, just contact me. I will be talking to them very soon. I want to give them a little bit of space, but I will be talking to them soon. Rest in peace, my friend. And as he said to me, we spoke several times after, but that last time I got to see him face to face. May the Force be with us all. I'll see you guys soon. And buy his books, because they're amazing.
Historical fiction thriller called All Up. Basically, it's supposed to be, I tried very hard to make it an entertaining, page-turning book about the first space age. It comes out on July 14th. It's you can get it as a Kindle book or Apple book, and there'll be an audio book, but it won't be coming out. The audio book will be a little bit later, August or September. And it's, you know, it's a book about what I consider to be, you know, the great adventure of the 20th century, the development of the rocket, which happens during World War II and before World War II with Robert Goddard, and then with you know, the secret German weapons program during World War II, and MI6 is trying to figure out what the Germans are doing. There's a lot of cat and mouse and a lot of intrigue, and it's all very interesting, I thought. And it was a ton of research behind it. So about 90% of the book, I'd say, is based on what really happened. 10% is either speculation or stuff that can't be proved definitively. But and then it goes into the space race and the Apollo 11 trip to the moon. And I think people who give it a chance and read the first 50 pages will be hooked. I'll go out on a limb and say that. Obviously, no book is for everyone, but I hope people who have read my other books will give it a chance, because it's kind of it's a behind the scenes book in the same way that's making a Star Wars and Indiana Jones and Alien were behind the scenes books. This is also a behind the scenes book.
Uba, Uba, Uba.
One last target, and no one will be able to stop me.
Now, as far as the characters in these stories, how closely did you work with the artists on creating characters? As you said, we didn't have the canon to pull from, aside from a couple characters like Yoda.
You know, Yoda, whatever.
I'm sorry, Charles is Yoda, whatever.
And sure, Yoda's in it, whatever.
And Yoda, whatever.
And Yoda.
Yoda, whatever. I'm
And
so
not
gonna
nice
get you a
pirate.
shirt, Charles, it says, and Yoda,
Yoda,
whatever.
whatever.
And then also Yoda. Whatever. So-
Yeah, Yoda,
and
whatever.
then- yeah.
You ain't seen nothing yet, Disney.
I can wipe you out of existence. Like this.
Wipe them out. All of them.
Please like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep your comments to yourself.
Thank you, guys. See you soon. May the force be with us all. Goodbye, my friend. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the video. May the force be with you.
Impressive. Most impressive.